That Russian Soyuz rocket that just took off to the skies, ferrying 3 fresh crew members to the International Space Station. It's already been called a milestone in ISS history, as the total number of permanent crew will become 6 for the first time. Our correspondent Gane Chichikan watched our launch at the Baikonur Cosmodrome along with us. She joins us from there now live. Good to see you again. Well, it was a success so far. Then Gane Expedition 20 departed on its way. When are the crew set to get to the International Space Station then?
Kevin, it took them 9 minutes, just several minutes to go to reach the orbit, and it will take them 2 days to actually reach the ISS. And this has been a very emotional moment here. We could see people hugging and kissing each other because this flight is actually opening a new door, actually opening a new page in the history of the ISS. From now on, the crew of the ISS doubles from 3 to 6. That means there will be no less than 6 people working permanently at the ISS. Each of the cosmonauts and astronauts spending there around 6 months, and many describe this flight as a huge step forward to making the ISS a huge scientific lab for the whole of humanity. We know that this flight has taken is taking to the ISS a team of 3, that including Russian cosmonaut Roman Romanenko. That's his first flight, by the way. We know that he's looking forward to it very much, and also 2 astronauts, one from Belgium, the other from Canada. They will join 3 other members of the 19th Soyuz expedition who are already working at the station. You know that we know that the guys have a huge program of experiments to carry out there. You know, experiments in physics, in medical science, and other fields. Just a huge program, and that's not it for the ISS. In fact, it is getting more and more crowded. We know that during the next 6 months there will be 2 shuttle visits, and the crew there at the ISS will reach 13 people. Can you imagine? This has never happened before, as the NASA spokesman told me. And you know. This will open a whole new door to the space exploration, to further space exploration. Kevin?
Yeah, of course, Gane, with more scientists, more astronauts, cosmonauts up there, it's going to mean a lot more maintenance of the station as well, isn't it? Give us a bit more detail about that.
Yes, they will carry out maintenance work, definitely, also as well as experiments. Actually, a lot of work to be done. As they've been, you know, most of all, they've been mostly describing the experiments that they will carry out, their scientific experiments, and. You know, where they will also, they're going to have a lot of maintenance work to be done on the Japanese module that has very recently been launched to the ISS. And, you know, actually, this flight is a great step as far as I said, in terms of further space exploration. But some people fear that this could also badly hit space tourism there. And, you know, and so the fear is that there would be no room for space tourists anymore. And we know that, especially considering the fact that the American shuttle will be retired very soon, starting from 2010 and until 2014. That means the Soyuz is going to be the only means of reaching space. But I heard that the Russian Space Agency has said they would continue to carry tourists to space if there are free seats on board the Soyuz spacecraft. And but a NASA spokesman told me yesterday that as far as he knows, the seats at the Soyuz vehicle are booked for years ahead for professional cosmonauts and astronauts there. So space tourism could really have a big problem there. But also we know that there is 1 free seat there for September, and if this seat goes to a space tourist, that this could be the last space tourist in around 5 years to come. And Kevin, if you start saving from now, you could actually make it for this.
In my dreams, Gane, in my dreams. Gane Chichikan reporting from Baikonur launch pad in Kazakhstan. They're good to catch up with you, thank you. It's a pleasure. Well, we had a big story this hour, as I mentioned just now, the launch of the Russian Soyuz, which will take 3 new crew members to the International Space Station. That's just minutes away, in fact, in about half an hour's time. It'll mark a milestone in ISS history, as the total number of permanent crew will become 6 for the first time. Let's catch up with our correspondent, Gane Chichikan. She's at the Baikonur launch pad. Lots of facts and figures in her head there. Also going to tell us about a special tradition that they do before they launch. But first of all, we've got, as I say, about 25 minutes to go, Gane, till this historic launch now, haven't we? So what's set to happen then over the next half hour?
place is boiling with excitement. We have lots of relatives of the crew members here around, lots of officials. We've even seen the Prince of Belgium here, you know, one of the astronauts that's going to take off very soon, just in about 25 minutes from now, maybe 30 minutes from now, at exactly at 34 minutes past 4 p.m. local time here in Baikonur. We all are going to be looking forward to that. You know, this flight is very special to everyone because it will open a new page in the history of the ISS. From now on, the crew of the ISS will doubles from 3 people to 6 people working permanently on board the ISS. And you know, many describe this flight as a huge step forward, bringing us closer to making the ISS a big scientific lab for the whole of humanity. And you know, this flight is going to take a team of 3 to the station, that including Russian cosmonaut Roman Romanenko. That's his first flight, by the way, and we know that he's been looking forward to it for more than a decade. His father told us, he told me just today. And you know, and 2 other astronauts, one from Belgium, the other from Canada, they're going to join 3 other members of the 19th Soyuz expedition who are already working at the ISS now. And the guys have a huge program of experiments to carry out. Those include experiments in physics, in medical science, and other fields. And that's not it for the ISS. It is going to get even more crowded, as we know that during the next 6 months there will be 2 shuttle visits, and at some point the number of the crew on board the ISS will reach 13 people. Can you imagine 13 people at the ISS? Let's hope they will have enough room to move for everybody there.
That leads me on to the next question. What technical changes, Gaynor, have they had to make to incorporate getting more people up there and managing the people when they get up there?
Oh, they're going to carry out, as I said, a lot of experiments. You know, that there are just some implications to this, to the doubling of the ISS crew. Of course, this is a big step forward in further exploration of space, but this also could actually be a problem for space tourism that's been around for quite some time now. And you know, and the fear is that there could be no room for space tourists from now on. Not at the ISS, but on the Soyuz vehicles that are going to fly, that are taking people to the ISS, and especially considering the fact that the U.S. that the American shuttle is going to be retired in 2010 and up until 2014 is not going to be replaced, and the Soyuz is going to be the only vehicle to the only means of reaching space. And you know, the fear is that there could be no room for tourism there. But we know the Russian Space Agency said they would continue to carry tourists to the International Space Station if there are free seats on board the ISS. But yesterday I spoke to the NASA spokesman, and he said, as far as he knew, all the seats for the Soyuz vehicle are booked for professional astronauts and cosmonauts for years ahead. So there could be a problem. But we know that there is one free seat that is coming up in September. And if this goes to tourists, if Russia sell the ticket to tourists, this could be the last, he or she could be the last tourist to travel to the ISS for maybe 5 years to come.
Well, let's get back to this current expedition, Expedition 20, due to take off in about 24 minutes' time. A couple of things I want to know. What's the weather like? Because there have been some high winds that may have delayed stuff over the last 24 hours, but everything seems to be back on track again. So really, what's the weather doing? It looks okay over your shoulder there. And tell us a little more about these pre-launch rituals you've been mentioning throughout the day.
Oh yes, we did have a chance to talk to the crew members just the day before the flight, just yesterday. And you know, these guys are really superstitious. They've got a lot of traditions that they're following. And speaking to Roman Romanenko, who's going to be the Russian cosmonaut on board the Soyuz vehicle, that's going to take off very soon. And he said, you know, they're following all the traditions that Yuri Gagarin once did back in 1961 when he first flew to space. He was the first man ever to fly to space, and there's a great respect towards this man here. And one of the traditions is they put a coin under the rails of the train that takes the rocket to the launch pad, and also there are lots of other traditions, including one of the most important ones that no astronaut, no cosmonaut ever misses. This is the screening of the movie, a Soviet classic movie called The White Sun of the Desert, that they're all watching a day before the flight. And I just honestly try to find out why this particular movie, but for some reason this tradition has been around for decades, and all cosmonauts, this is a must. All not only Russian cosmonauts do that, but astronauts foreign astronauts who just travel with the Soyuz vehicle.